Hey folks, this is the birthday edition. This is Mark out at Positively Peninsular. It is actually Labor Day, and it is my birthday, my 61st. Made that mistake at Trader Joe's. 65th birthday. I wasn't trying to shave off any years, but it has just been a wonderful birthday. Heard from my sister, my brother, both my sons. Yeah, it's been a good day. I treated myself down in the big city, and I'll show you in a minute a lot of the stuff I got. And it just reminds me of that Parks and Rec episode where I don't know what her name is, and I don't know what his name is in the show. Aziz Ansari, and I don't know what her name is. She's like a office worker. Anyway, they do this thing called Treat Yourself Day, and it's one day a year. And so today was my treat myself. And so I went to the nursery. I went to Bark and Garden Center. Fantastic. Shout out to Carrie, who helped me when my clutch went, because that's the place that my car died. So I thought I'd celebrate with getting some plants, and you'll see what I got. And I kept it under a certain number, which made me feel good, and I didn't go over it. And so I'm going to grab a chicken sandwich here, but I just wanted to get this in because you guys know me, I'm going to procrastinate and yada, yada, yada. But the reason I want to get it in is because I got a text from the painting folk, and the guy asked, "Hey, can my folks come over and pressure wash?" I'm like, yeah, sure. Labor Day? Okay, fine. Well, another birthday present to myself. And so they're going to be over here after lunch, and it's 12:30 now. So I just don't know when they're going to be coming. But so this will be a real quick video. But it was just a great day. So I went and got coffee. I got a free coffee, my first free coffee at Espresso One. Right over there on Brockdale. Shout out to those folks. It just happened that my little ticket thing was up. In other words, I was due for a free one anyway, and so it was just lovely. And everybody's like saying happy birthday, and they all think I'm like 40. I'm like, you guys are delusional, but thank you very much. Just give me my coffee and stop bullshitting me. But anyway, and so it started out there, and I'll tell you, the lady Carrie at the Bark Center, she's like you should just go around all the places in town and just spread your good cheer. And I'm like, life's too short to be freaking miserable. Let's be honest. I mean, I've been there, done that. It's just I don't get it. There's no point to it, and it's like dress for success. Well, think for success, think for positivity. Anyway, so it started. So then I went to Trader Joe's. I've been going to Trader Joe's since 1970s. I grew up with Trader Joe's in California. Anyway, and I got a guilty pleasure. I'll be honest. Okay, this is like behind the scenes. You get to see inside the pantry. Okay, it's gonna be bad. But it's these things, the baked cheese crunchies and the snacks. And I also got their oat milk stuff. It's just treat myself. And, I got out of there for $30. I'm like, damn, it's a pretty cheap birthday. And then I went from there to, I didn't go to REI because they weren't open yet. And they were at the mall. And so just a little bit further past, I went to the Bark and Garden Center over in Harrison, and just again a shout out to Carrie, Leslie last time, who really helped me out with a lot of the deer issues I've been having. And I think I maybe mentioned her. She also lives out here at Lake Limerick. Oh geez, I forgot. Oh my God. So after I went to the coffee place, before I even got on the highway, I stopped at Walmart because I needed to get batteries because I know, I know. It just gets better than that. Anyway, so the other day, here's the deal. The other day, I kept hearing a beep, and it was this smoke detector, and it was a 9 volt, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I know how to switch this out. So I get up on the stool, the ladder thing, and I go to the drawer where, kind of like the catch-all drawer, and I just want to pull it out. It's classic. I'm going to put a little light on the subject. Anyway, they're going to come out and pressure wash, so I'm kind of closing everything up. That's why everything's kind of closed up, because I don't know what happens. I don't want spray coming into the house. So I had a 2-pack, and it was packaged, right? Sealed up. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I know I'm always like, I like to kind of buy ahead. I'm not a prepper by any means, but it's the OCD crap. It's not hoarding, it's targeted amassing. Anyway, so I had this in my drawer, and I didn't even bother looking at it. I figured it's packaged, it has never been used, it's, new. Well, yesterday, the damn thing starts beeping again. I'm like, well, is it a different one? Which would make sense because they would all go at the same time, right? So I'm thinking, but I kept hearing it from the same one that I just showed you. And so I pull it out again. I'm like, God bless it, and I did the test. I guess I don't know what the hell. You're supposed to know if it works or not by testing it. I just press a button and nothing really happens. Anyway, so I take out the battery yesterday. I don't know if you can see that, but check that out. That's 03 of 2013. So March of 2013. So basically 12 years ago, and I'm expecting the smoke detector to just overlook that fact. Anyway, point being, I had to go to Walmart because that beeping just drives me nuts, and I don't feel comfortable not having my fire alarm working. Not that I'm a heavy sleeper, but and so I stopped in at Walmart, and then there was Amy. Shout out to Amy. I think I shouted out to Gloria, who also lives up in this up at this area, and then Amy also lives up in this area. She and her husband we're all on the same side of we're all in the slums part of the country club. We're on the wrong side. Well, we look at it as the right side, but it's a good side. And so she says, oh, I was wondering where you've been. I haven't seen you. She goes, oh, you're getting great plants and everything. And we always talk plants. And that's what I talked about with Gloria is landscaping. And, I'm going to be I just went to a nursery after after Walmart. So anyway, so that was just lovely interaction, yada, yada, yada. We talked deer-resistant stuff, which is kind of like a main topic with gardeners, landscapers out here. And, no surprise there. And then I just continued on my day with, so I went down to the big city, right? That's got air quotes around it, I guess. And for my treat myself day, and went to the Trader Joe's. That's when I went to Trader Joe's. And the lady, the greeter lady, who's really like asset management, basically watching for shoplifters. I mean, they look at me like I'm ready to just run out with the crown jewels. I'm like, I wouldn't get 10 feet. And there's this lady, and she's like, oh, it's your birthday. Yeah. And she started clapping and singing. And I'm like, I hope it's okay with the manager that you do that. And it was lovely. It was a lot of fun. She goes, oh my God. Anyway, and so then I went to the Trader Joe's. A couple of millennials helped me out. I said, I've got kids older than you. Not by a lot. And I said, you millennials are just pains in the asses. And I told them what my sons had texted me. Yeah. Which was, happy birthday to our favorite senior citizen. Yeah, really. Yeah, that's what I'm dealing with here, folks. Anyway, and so it was just a lot of fun, and they were like going, "Guy, you're so happy." And I'm like, again, look, you got two options: happy, unhappy. I don't think there's really an in between, is there? Positive, negative. There's not really an in between. Anyway, it's just a lot more fun being positive. So then I went to the nursery. Again, shout out to Carrie. Leslie last time. Carrie was who was also the one that helped me out with when my car broke down there. And then I also met Kelsey, who is a Virgo, because, everybody's like, "Oh, happy birthday." I was like, "Yeah, I'm going to milk this. Why not?" And she goes, "Oh, fellow Virgo." I'm like, "Oh, guilty." Yeah. Anyway, she helped me out with some great plants, which we're going to look at, which is the main reason for this, is they're called hell. I know we had fun with the beginning of that word. Hell, shoot, I don't know, but we'll take a look at them. And I'll read the side, whatever the label says. It's like hell, not hell blots, hella something. Anyway, I just got these really cool plants. I am so excited. It's a pretty gray day today, as you can tell. It was actually raining on my way back, in between the big city and here. And then it was sprinkled on and off for a bit. So the pressure washer is going to be here I don't know, at some point this afternoon, and I just don't know when, and I'd rather not. I'd rather get out there while it's still daylight and whatnot. So then I went to, so the other cool thing is I went to, so after the nursery, and we'll see what I got there. So shout out to them and to Carrie and Kelsey and Leslie, who wasn't there today, but it just brings me joy. And it was there. I think it was. I'm pretty sure it was Carrie. And she says, "Mark, you should just go out there and just go all to the businesses and just spread your cheer." And I'm like, yeah. Well, who's got the time and energy for that? Oh, I got to shave again. I don't care. It's my birthday. So then I went to the mall and went to REI, which is a great place, one of my favorite places. And I've been a member with REI since I lived on the East Coast, and since the early, like from when I first, like since '93, which, that's a pretty long time. And I wanted to get these. Like I think they're called recovery slides. Does that make sense to folks? Because I'd never heard of them. I just thought they were sandals, kind of like Birkenstocks or things like that. Anyway, I had read about them on CNN, and they touted them, kind of like for helping your feet when because I do a lot of workout on my feet in the yard and whatnot, and I guess it just helps your feet recover. Just keeping an eye out for the paint truck folk. Water pressure, whatever you call it, power washing. And then, so the guy, Jeff, very helpful, very nice guy. So shout out to Jeff at REI. And again, I'm just really lucky to meet people that I interact with are so helpful and nice. It's nice. It really is lovely. Anyway, so went to RI. He was very helpful, and I got these UFOs. I don't know, it just has a lot of O's in it. So I didn't get the kind that I was looking for, and that may be the painters to say they're on their way, which I mean, they seem very conscientious at this point. So sorry, I do have to log in every freaking time. But I guess it's better to always be locked than... Oh my gosh, Jared, raw. Oh my gosh. That's from Orange Theory Down South. And my brother sent a picture message, which I'm sure will be very funny. Very cool. I'll have to take a look at... Oh my gosh. Yeah, so Jared, I think I've mentioned them on previous videos, but Jared and Ann were friends that I met at Orange Theory down south because we were like the only old people there. Everybody else was like 20 something or at best mid 30 something and lower. But anyway, and so these are called recovery slides, and again, educate me. Okay, and they're usually for like workouts, and I'm like, well, you know, I never recovered my feet. I never went through recovery with my feet for the 4 years that I was with Orange Theory. And so, God, how did he remember that? How did he and Ann remember that was my birthday? That's it. Wow, that's kind of impressive. I haven't heard from him for probably about a year. And so I got to end this soon because I'm starving Marvin and I want to eat before the folks come because I don't feel comfortable eating in front of folks or around folks that aren't also eating. So I don't think I'm going to get this stuff planted, but we'll get out there. Anyway, again, these are really super comfortable and they're called UFOs. They're not the same as what I was originally looking for, which was they're basically the same from what I understand, but it was the Hoka Aura 3. Hokas are like real hot and hip and happening these days, but I don't buy into the hype. But I did go there because that's what the original article had highlighted. And I just remembered Aura 3. Anyway, and so, yeah, I mean, it's just been a fun-ass day. Oh, and here's the kicker. Because I evidently had these, like, dollars in my REI, whatever, because it is kind of I think it's a co-op, so things are just a little different. And he's like, do you have an account with us? I said, God, I don't know. I think so. I said, I've been with you guys forever and a day. I said, so I gave him my phone number, and he's like, oh, Mark? I'm like, yeah. And he said, from Positively Peninsula. I'm like, whoa. No, I'm just kidding. No, of course not. Anyway, and he's like, yeah, you have $43 in your bank, your account, whatever. I'm like, would you like to use those today? I'm like, yes, please. I said, this is great. That's also my birthday. He goes, perfect. These things cost me $22. Folks, you can't make this stuff up. And so then I come home and I stop at a different coffee place because I came a different route to come home. It's a little bit shorter if I'm coming from the south. And so I cut through downtown, and then and there's one of my coffee places, the one that I go to when I'm downtown. Beanbag, shout out to Beanbag Coffee. Yeah, the girls, I've only seen women working there, so the girls are really, really sweet and fun and all that kind of stuff. And they were like all goo goo gaga because I was speaking to my sister on the phone when I went up to the window and I had to like, Sarah, I gotta leave. I gotta talk to the coffee folks. And so they gave me a free coffee. And they go, oh no, we do it all the time for birthday coffees. I said, but how do you know? And they punched my card. I'm like, cool. I was like, they're so nice. Yeah, and it's just been a fun day. And so let's go out and look at the plants, okay? And then I'm gonna get on with my chicken sandwich. I don't think I'm gonna plan any of these things today, just because I'm kind of sore, to be honest, from yesterday, because I did a second edition of my work routine, and I actually could show you. I did a lot yesterday, actually, morning, and I keep saying actually a lot, actually. These are my coyote urine granules that I got at the nursery. So here they are. Helleborus. So these are Helleborus's. And evidently, from what I gather, they're the experts. I'd never heard of them, but the deer detest them. And I can kind of see why. I mean, they're very cool leaves. Too bad you can't actually, reach through the lens and touch them, but they're really cool. They're very sharp on the outer edges. That may be part of it. Lavender, we all know. That's that spurge. And I went back, when I was at Walmart, I went back to get some of those. The coneflowers were already gone, so I'm glad that I got the 3, and I already planted them. They're out there. I know you can't see them, but they're the ones with the red that you see out there. But we'll go out there. Got a bunch of heathers, 3 different kinds, and then some grasses. Hostas. I got these 3 because the Walmart spurges looked like this. This I got at the nursery at Bark and Garden Center, and I just like the differences, the variations in the textures. And look at underneath, it's got red, and they're all the same plant, but just kind of makes it more interesting, I think. That is oh my god, that smell. If we had smell-o-vision, that stuff smells. That's like a big hummingbird magnet. It's called hummingbird. I think it's called hummingbird mint. I believe that's what it's called. So I got the Helleborus. I got a bunch of those because I'm going to do, and they evidently get wide. Look at this. Yeah, this is my last junky area. This is behind the shed. And so, excuse me, I ended up throwing away. I took down the canopy, by the way, folks. The canopy, which was right over there, the gray one, because it's now there. That's the one that had the slices in it that looked like birds, like giant birds attacked the canopy. Anyway, I focused on like black-eyed Susans, and I think I've mentioned these coneflowers. Look at these coneflowers. I got a Stilbees, and I just got this is, I think, a bee balm, possibly. I'm not really sure. I'd never seen. Look at the stalks on these black-eyed Susans. This is like ancient growth, old growth. Here's some more of that. Oh no, this is a salvia. These are like coral bells, and again, the deer don't like them, but I do. And I got all these just different variations. So if I do them kind of like in a setting, not in a setting, but like one of the rhododendron circle areas would be just kind of like Helleborus's, and another one could be like a Stilbees, and then the I always want to say chloral, but it's not chloral, it's coral bells. And anyway, here's another Helleborus. This is almost like a lamb's ear, but I don't think it is. But if you could feel this, it feels just like suede, folks. If you could make a jacket out of this, you'd make a mint. Whoa, it feels so soft. It's called it had an interesting name. It's called a Senecio or Senecio. Angel wings, Senecio angel wings. And it says it's a temperennial, which I'm not really sure what that means. I've heard of annual and perennial, those two. I didn't know there was a temperennial. And you can tell it's Labor Day. But here's another coral bell, just a different I think it's, or else it's a Stilby. I'm just excited, folks. And these are in much better shape than my poor little seedlings are. But look at that yellow. There's not enough yellow in the flower world. It's all pinks and purples. And it's like, I want to see some oranges and some yellows. Is that too much to ask? Am I weird? I don't get it. Like, why does everything have to be pinks and purples and reds? Anyway, bring on the yellows and oranges, I say. Anyway, we'll take a look at what's going on out here. And again, I'm just over the moon with my plant choices. And if you really want to know, you can press me, and I guess you can ask online. But here you can see I did the coneflowers,